Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look at the Amazon Lily arc. But first, like always, let's have a quick flashback to last week. Last week we actually started the last saga of this what if scenario, so to say. Because the Summit War saga is pretty much the last thing that we can talk about without Luffy being there. Everything post time skip changed so much that it isn't really the One Piece story anymore and just my own story, but you can still look forward to what I'm going to do with that stuff. So it's not going to stop at the post-war arc. We're just going to continue with whatever's going to happen next. Last week, well, Sabaody wasn't too interesting with no one attacking the world nobles, no one messing up so that the Marines and an Admiral and a Pacifista and Kuma and everybody else appeared. Rayleigh could just chill out. Basically, Sabaody was just really relaxing. And to be honest, Amazon Lily isn't going to be too much of a different experience. So let's get right into this arc. 20 weeks already. Well, first of all, we're still at 76 deaths. And I can already tell you this isn't a spoiler or anything, because you can, if you think about this a bit, you know that in Amazon Lily, there wasn't actually any source of death which could have happened. Well, technically there's still the danger of death for some people. But first of all, let's take a quick look at Hancock and her whole tribe. While you know that Amazon Lily was mostly focused around Luffy, that is why not that much stuff is happening for us there, the biggest thing we can think about is that the whole Kuja tribe and all the women that live there, they won't have the experience of meeting Luffy and seeing his crown jewels and everything. So that means that they won't start slowly accepting men. Especially Boa won't fall in love, and she won't meet her lover boy Luffy. But all that means, technically speaking, Hancock would still be on the side of the Marines during the upcoming war. But she will. I think the whole thing about her was that even without Luffy being there, she didn't want to go to Marineford to fight against that, because that would just be too dangerous for her tribe. And I guess it's not like the contract she signed. Maybe every what's the word? Wall of the Sea, Shichibukai, has a different contract that they filed. Like, Mihawk's is just, leave me out of everything, I just want to relax on my island. If there's any strong swordsmen, maybe hit me up, I can take care of the strong swordsmen. Hancock is just, you know, if there's any women that need help or anything, I can help the women, but you need to leave my island alone. It's basically, maybe all of them have different, contracts, meaning, Dofi could just do whatever he wanted on Dressrosa. Crocodile could do the stuff on Alabasta, because everybody was in such different circumstances that there can't be just one contract connecting all the warlords. But I don't want to get into the law side of everything. I'm not a judge or lawyer or anything here. Well, Luffy discovered his conqueror's hierarchy on this island, and he saved a woman on this island. But this woman, I think, was only being judged and brought up for execution, basically, because Luffy was there. I think she helped Luffy, and that is why Hancock and the others decided to execute her. But without Luffy being there, that actually means that no one is actually going to attack that woman, or there's going to be anything doing that. So for now, no woman of the Kuja tribe will lose their life because of a straw hat wearing individual. Anyways, that also means I have so many pictures for these women. There's so many women, even though they're pixelated. Kuja tribe are quite interesting. Did they talk about this stuff? Because it's a tribe of only women. It's basically the Amazon tribe, if you want to compare them to other series like Danmachi or other stuff, where there can only be female members of that tribe. But they still need to go out to find a man. But, is their husband not allowed on the island? did some Kujas just leave forever because they didn't want to leave to that island where they couldn't be with their husband? I don't know how that would work. I don't know if these women are just brought up differently. They're just built different. And yeah, this is Lover Boy Luffy. Hancock will probably stay this stone cold empress for quite a time because Luffy just doesn't have any interest in women, at least for this point at this point of time, which is why he didn't react to Hancock's ability. But I think there could be different scenarios where she meets other people. Like, I can't pick out a character in my head right now who doesn't have an interest in women, just like Luffy. But technically speaking, if she met Zoro, who's dead right now, it would have been the same case. If she would have met Kobe, I'm not sure how Kobe would work against her power, because I feel like he still had some worldly desires in him, but Kobe's also just chilling with Alvida somewhere in the East Blue, unless he got rescued from someone, but we can't tell that because that's a big what if. Anyways, all that means Hancock will stay on the side of the government for at least some time, and the government doesn't lose another warlord. Well, in this what if scenario, they only lost Crocodile so far, because nobody else, like Moria and others, didn't lose against Luffy or didn't do anything stupid, like protecting the Straw Hats or something. Which means Moria still has his position and he is not in a risk of losing it, because the Marines might think like, he's quite lazy and doesn't do much here, but he still deals with some pirates who enter further back, right? So he's still doing his job technically, he's just lazy. And then Kuma doesn't help the Straw Hats, and Moria as well. They want attacking that Marineford because he didn't lose. The reason, like to Luffy, the whole reason that he was attacked was because they thought like Moria has gotten so weak that he lost to Luffy. But now there's not that whole thing. That means that warlord is also safe. And Hancock just stays there. Maybe she can work something out that she doesn't need to go to Ace's execution. But if and what she will do is not go there. She didn't want to go there. The only reason she went to Marineford was because of Luffy. And if she doesn't go there, that means she will lose her warlord title, just like in the original series. Which means there will be a fight around Kuja Island, or like the Island of Women. But that's probably not something I can tell about too much, because who knows, maybe she can just charm all the people from the Marines. Maybe they are not resistant to her power, who knows. And the biggest part of this arc is actually that the Straw Hats are not spread out over the world. I think it's a bit split up between the Amazon Lily arc and the post-war arc, where we see what the Straw Hats are doing after they got separated by Kuma. But this is the first time we hear about that, and that means all of the stuff that they do doesn't happen. And let's take a look at what that means. First of all, we also got the thing, I forgot the Vice Admiral's name, the Mohawk guy. Like, if you look at that, all the Marines behind him got like turned into stone, but he didn't. That's probably something to do with Haki. It's like weaker people who don't have Haki will get like turned into stone, but people who have armament Haki or just resistant to that won't get turned into stone. The Marines would probably say it's because of their sense of justice, and justice protects you from worldly desires, but who knows. But let's take a quick look at the consequences of all of this happening. First of all, like I said, there are no immediate deaths, but there might be consequences because of all of this. Like, for example, first of all, Boa, our like the most beautiful woman in the world, is going to stay at least neutral to the world government until she will get like her title removed, and then she might just build a barricade. But it's already hard to get to her island because it's the Calm Belt. So if you don't have like ships that can propel themselves by the like on their own, or they just row or something, they will have a hard time actually getting there. So let's see how that turns out. I'm also interested in seeing how, I think it's Kobe who was sent to capture Boa in the actual story right now. I'm really interested in seeing how that is going to turn out. If Kobe is actually strong enough to capture her right now, or if they won't even arrive, but like they might be able to row through the calm belt, but the problem with rowing through the calm belt, there are all these different sea kings, like these ginormous sea kings, and I don't know if the Marines are ready to take them on. Then, first part, Robin, who died back in Alabasta, would have been sent to an island where she would have met all the revolutionaries. And with the revolutionaries, she would have like talked about different plans. She could have talked about the poneglyphs that she has already read, and they could have prepared some wars. Obviously, in that time, she also learned about Sabo. She learned met Koala. She met Hack, Dragon, and all these different people. But this doesn't happen, and she doesn't need to learn Fisherman Karate and everything that because she's dead. Well, that's something for the Revolutionary Army. Like, the biggest person who they actually ever always wanted to meet up with is already dead, so that sucks. Then we come to Karakura Island, I think. It's the island where Brooke would have been sent to. You got, like, captured by cultists or something first, and they thought he was their Lord Satan, but through all of that stuff, crazy stuff happening, he turned into Soul King and became a musician with them. But hey, those long arms were going to betray him anyways. I think he saved a woman there from being sacrificed, but I am not too sure how about that would turn out. Maybe she would have escaped, maybe she wouldn't. Maybe they would have summoned someone else because why? Who knows what's going to happen there? Maybe they actually would have summoned Satan. We don't know too much about religion in One Piece, so who knows what that would have happened there. Then we come to the island where Chopper got sent to. Chopper actually saved a few lives here, I think. Because these giant birds on that island, on the Torino Kingdom, and the inhabitants, which were by some miraculous coincidence like doctors and very advanced doctors at that, they were struggling with communicating with these birds because they can't talk with animals. Who would have guessed? Which means that Chopper doesn't mediate between these two tribes, basically, and I don't know who or when those people will die, but at least they will attack each other. Some will get injured, but I can't tell who would win, the birds or the humans. But let's just say this conflict isn't stopped because Chopper is not there, and we can't say what is going to happen more in the future. That's right, we don't see much more about the other people because the other Straw Hats, like, we saw, I guess, only those 3 Straw Hats already. Like, Zoro we saw later, Nami we saw later, Frankie we saw later, Sanji we saw later, and all of that makes sense because these people that those guys met up with, they are not on their island right now. Ivankov is not there where Sanji would have been. Mihawk is not at his home island where he could have met Zoro. Frankie could still do all of his stuff and Nami could do her stuff, but I guess they just didn't want to pay too much attention to every Straw Hat and split them up, like just to spread out the different stuff and not have too much of that interaction in one arc. But that's about it, what happens in the Amazon Lily arc. Amazon Lily isn't that big of an arc, but I can already tell you, we're entering the climax of the the Summer War Saga. And next week we're going to the Impel Down arc. And Impel Down, woo baby, that's a lot of stuff happening there. I am excited to tell you more about that next week. And until then, I would say, have a good time, and we will see each other again in the next week. Pyro out.